Hey everybody, it's Derek with the Board Game Spotlight. Today we are going to look at Omen, Reign of War. This is the newest reprint of Omen. This is from Colossal Games. It's a two-player card-driven combat game. It plays in about 30 minutes and it includes, we have the Edge of the Aegean expansion and Fires in the East. So let's go ahead and take this to the table and let's talk about it. So in Omen, Reign of War, players are going to attempt to complete feats of the gods in order to win the game, or they will win tiles from war-torn cities. And so the two in-game conditions are that two of the cities are complete, so there are no more reward tiles from two of the cities, or a player completes 5 of their feats of the gods. So let's go ahead and take a look at the feat of the gods. So we have Hades' feat, and 3 or more opponents' cards were destroyed or discarded. We would get to flip that over, and we would score 2 victory points at the end of the game. We have Hera's feat. You have at least 1 oracle in each city. So there are 3 cities in the game, and you're going to deploy cards to each of the 3 cities, and that's going to meet different requirements. So using Hera, if we were to play 3 oracles into each of the 3 cities, then we would fulfill her feat and we would score her points. We have Poseidon, who wants us to draw 5 or more cards. And again, you can draw cards from different abilities on cards. We have Ares. If we have 5 units in a single city, Ares wants us to use soldiers. Soldiers count as 1 unit. Spirits also count as a unit, but if you were to use a beast, beasts are colossal. And what colossal means is that typically a unit is worth 1, a beast is worth 2 units. And so that comes into play because each of these cities can only hold a total of 5 unit strength. So you would need to play soldiers or not beasts in order to complete Ares. Artemis, you have at least 1 beast in each city, so she wants you to control the beasts. And then we have Athena. Athena wants you to have at least 1 soldier in each of the cities as well. And so when you complete these feats on your turn, you will then gain the listed victory point value. And if you control 5 of them at the end of your turn, you'd win the game. Now we're going to fight over these 3 cities, and we have these peaceful tokens, but then we have these war-torn tokens. So war-torn means that a city has reached its capacity for war. And what that means is that we have different cards, like here's a hero. This is Scourge of Troy. We have the beast, so its strength is 2. We have a spirit, which is a strength of 1. Now that's not to be confused with the unit strength, where a beast is worth 2 units. This beast would be worth 2 units, but have a strength of 2. And so if we were to deploy the beast into that city, we would have 2 of the 5 units needed to bust on peaceful. And if you have 3 unit strength on your side of the battlefield, then you go ahead and fight. So you're going to, it's a tug of war. You want to try to get units into the city to win these reward tiles, because the reward tiles are going to have different abilities on them. They're going to help you. They're also worth victory points. You can see here that it's worth 2 victory points at the end of the game. So on your turn, we have this really nifty turn order card. It tells you everything you need to know. So at the beginning of your wealth step, the first step of your turn, you're going to gain 3 actions. Now you can either gain a coin or draw a card, and you can do that in 3 different variations. So you could draw 2 coins and a card. You could draw 1 coin and 2 cards, or you can take 3 coins or 3 cards. Now, if you choose to take 3 coins, you get an additional coin. If you choose to draw 3 cards, you get an additional card. Now, that's important because coins are the currency that you use to deploy your cards from your hand into the cities. So you have 4 coins at the beginning of the game, and you have 4 cards in your hand. And so the wealth step, we would get 2 for the first player. So let's go ahead and draw a card and a coin. We'll add this card to our hand. We have a hero. Now heroes are interesting because they have no recruit cost, so you pay 0 to play the card. It has a strength of 4, and then this blue icon means it's an offering, and offerings are made at the end of the turn. But this treasured ability, so treasured means that if you hold it in your hand, at the end of the game it's going to be worth points. They also have different abilities, so you will want to hold on to those for different things. But again, your heroes are incredibly strong units that you want to deploy to win cities, but you may also want to hold based on the treasured keyword. So we could go ahead and spend our money. Let's spend $3 to, let's look at this spirit. So spirits have a very interesting mechanic. So it costs 3 coins if we wanted to deploy it, but the invoke, if we were to pay 4, we would get to pay for both of its abilities. If we pay for just the 3, we only get to choose one of the abilities. So when it deploys, each player shuffles their hand into the deck and draws 2 cards, or we could choose an opponent and make them discard 2 cards. So we could pay the $3 coins and deploy that into the first city. And then we could use our 1 coin to deploy a beast into the second city. So we're going to try to spread out. Again, we do want to try to complete these feats as quickly as possible. It is part of the end game conditions, but so is earning these reward tiles. That would be the surge step. So the wealth step is drawing coins or cards. The surge step is deploying the units from your hand onto the battlefield. Now, you're going to go back and forth. Your opponent's going to use this side, so they would have a hand of cards as well. And so we can give them some. Here is an oracle. Oracles have a keyword ability that happens during this portent step. Now, the portent step happens after surge. So after you've deployed cards down to the battlefield, you would then get to activate this portent step. And essentially, you would just go, so an opponent loses a coin, you reveal the top card of the deck. If it's an oracle, you gain a coin. So if our opponent did that, we would look at this, it's a soldier. It's not an oracle, so we don't get the ability, but this is discarded. They could have also deployed the 300. So here's a hero they could have deployed for free. The portent step happens after surge, and then the war step. So the war step happens when a city becomes war-torn. So a city becomes war-torn after we have a strength of 5 units in the city, or a player has 3 unit strength in a city. So if it came back to us, let's take 4 coins so we can use our money to purchase some things. Let's spend $4 to play Keeper of the Tide. Again, it costs $4. This 2 strength, let's put it into the middle city. Now, remember, a beast is worth 2. We have 3 unit strength on our side, so we're going to fight over this middle city. So we would flip the peaceful to war-torn. We would add up our strength. It's 4 to 4. If there is a tie, then the player with the highest unit cost is the victor. We paid a total of 5. They paid 0, so we would win. Now, when a player wins, we would take the top tile of the rewards deck, and you can see that they are double-sided. So this is Artemis's Call, and it has an ability. Now, we could use this ability on a turn during the surge step, but it would only be worth 1 victory point. If we kept it and we didn't use it, it'd be worth 2. So we're just going to place that into our tableau. We're going to own that. Now, the victor is going to destroy all but 1 of the units in that city. So let's destroy the beast. We'll keep the soldier because it costs us 4 to deploy that. We don't want to lose that. And then the loser is going to destroy all but 2 of their units. So he had 1 in the fight, so he's going to be able to keep his card, so that is okay. And then that is how you resolve war-torn cities. Now, at the end of a turn, there's the offering step. Now, the offering step is interesting because you can take a card from your hand, and a hero would not be a good card to use for the offering step, but you'll see that it has 4 in this blue circle. That means that during the offering step, we can sacrifice this card to the gods, and we could gain coins or cards up to that value. So it's just like during the wealth step. So we could take 2 coins and draw 2 cards and add those to our hand. So we have an oracle and an oracle. So now with these oracles, we could attempt to complete Hera's feat by having oracles in each of the cities. So you can see the tug of war aspect. At the end of the game, you're going to score points for every unused reward tile you have. You'll score a point if you've used your reward tile so it's either 2 or 1. Then you will score victory points for each completed face-down feat. So each of your feats you've completed, and then you're going to gain points for treasured cards in your hand. Again, your heroes, you're going to score points off of those. And then you're going to add those up, and the winner is the player with the most points. Now, the expansions. So Fires in the East and Edge of the Aegean add not only more reward tiles based on the expansion, but they're going to add new types of cards. So we have merchants, and we have warriors, and we have sphinxes. It's just phenomenal artwork, by the way. Unreal. And so you always play with a base set. So with these expansions, if you add them in, you're always going to want to play with soldiers, oracles, and beasts. So you're always going to play with your soldiers, your oracles, and your beasts. So you're always going to play with those 3 types, but you can also add in your other types. You could add in Sphinx, Merchant, Warrior, or over here on the Edge of the Aegean, we could add in automatons, myrmidons, and the other one is carries. And so with these different types, here's a Morai, you can add these in and completely change the way the game works with whatever expansions you want to add in. Now, these are standalone, so you could play the types in this deck with your soldiers, beasts, and oracles, or you can mix and match however you want. You can even take all of the expansions, throw them together for an epic war to end all wars. So again, Omen, Reign of War, and the 2 expansions add so much variety, so much variability into the game, and you can see how quick the game plays. Again, 30 minutes, has fantastic artwork, very interesting decisions based on what you're going to play where, when you want to win a city, when you want to hold back your heroes, because again, your heroes are worth a ton of strength, but again, you don't want to waste them because they can be worth points at the end of the game. So, lots of decisions, very, very interesting game. Omen, Reign of War. It's on Kickstarter right now. It's a 2-player small box game. If this game looks like something that's interesting to you, take a look at the description below to follow the link to the Kickstarter page. This has been Derek with the Board Game Spotlight. We'll catch you next time.